So please do that. At least now I'm live streaming though. So, what the goal of today is of this this class is we made our Minecraft project. Shh. Listen up. We've made our Minecraft projects, and we made it so that you can place a block down, and you can mine a block, and you've got different types of blocks, and you can change those in the level editor, and everything snaps to a grid. And you guys got a lot done last week, to be honest. So what I want to start with you today, and this is part lecture, part assignment, because I don't want to just hand it to you. And we'll be using a system that you guys are somewhat familiar with. We're going to add what's known as a HUD, H-U-D. Now, who knows what a HUD is, that term? Yeah, hand. Yep.
The heads-up display?
Heads-up display, that's right. HUD stands for heads-up display. Well, what is that? Heads-up display is whatever menu that your player sees whenever he's playing the game. Okay, so a variety of menus in a video game. There's your main menu, your pause menu, your save menu, your load menu, your death menu, your quit menu, your settings menu, all kinds of menus. But what's the menu that's there while he's playing? What's on that screen? Well, that's what your HUD is. So usually, definitely, it's your health bar. Sometimes it's things like any abilities that you have or things that you've equipped or whatever. It's the stuff that you see while you're playing. So what we want to do today is we want to start making our Minecraft HUD, our Minecraft heads-up display. How might we make a heads-up display? How might we start? Where would we start in Unreal for doing that? What's that?
The menu thing.
And what is the menu thing?
I can't remember.
Okay, somebody else? Any other ideas? How might we make a menu thingy? I heard widget. Widget, absolutely. So the widget system, right? That's where you make all menus. So what I want you all to do right now is go add a widget. Go to your content browser, right? Hit add new, user interface at the very bottom, and then you choose the thing that says widget blueprint. Why is it called widget blueprint? Well, a widget is a blueprint, right? It has an event graph, it has a begin play, event tick, all of that stuff. You can do all the visual scripting on a widget. Yeah. What's that? I am live streaming now. Yes. Let me turn this on. How about this? Whenever this is on, that means I'm live streaming. And yes, we are live streaming. So I'm going to do that right now on live stream. So I'm adding a widget. I'm going to let me delete my last one from the last class. All right, hit add new. User interface, the bottom, click widget blueprint. I want you to name it player HUD. And if you already clicked it or whatever, named it, you could right click and then hit rename. But name it player HUD. And then double click it to open it up. And this is our widget view. You've all seen this before. This is our screen. This is our entire screen. And you can just drag and drop things onto your screen from this area called the palette on the left. What you do is find an image on your palette. You can either drag it from this area or just type it in, image, and then drag that onto your widget. And it comes up with this kind of ugly block thing, right? Now what I can do is I can change what image is being shown by clicking on that image, and then the details panel on the right, going down where it says appearance, and in the brush part it says brush settings. The setting says image. It says none right now. If I click on the drop down, I can choose any image in my project. Okay. Now what I want you to take a look at is I have this up on my screen now. I guess I don't have this in the live stream now, do I? Let's take a look. And I was going to try and bring up the live stream, but I can't. So anyway, what you could do is just Google Minecraft gameplay, and I just want you to find where you can see what the HUD looks like. And what you have here for Minecraft is you have a series of hearts, red hearts for your health, and these turn white and they go down when you lose health. And then you got these series of like pork chop looking things. That's for your hunger, because Minecraft's a survival game. So when you over time your hunger goes down, you need to eat something. And if you don't, it goes all the way to 0, then your health's gonna go down. So that's what that is. And then you've got this little progress bar beneath all of it. It's better if I show you in this example. You can see it's kind of going up, and there's a number 18 here, right? That's your level. You get level by collecting experience whenever you make things in the game. A little bit of experience comes out, and you grow in level. And then this very bottom bar is all of your items, and whichever one you currently have selected. So right now, you can tell this one's selected because it's big, and it shows that it's selected. It's the iron pickaxe. That's what's equipped. So on the right here, the player has his iron pickaxe. If he moves over to the sword, this turns into the sword. If he moves over to the cobblestone, it turns into the cobblestone he's holding. Turns into he goes to the food. He goes to the food that he's holding, and that's how all that works. So the goal for this week is to recreate this HUD system, and we can all do this in the widget. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go just Google images, Minecraft heart, and you can go and do that. Pull it up on Google, Minecraft heart. And it really doesn't matter which one you choose so much as you like it and you're happy with it. I will say this, try and find one that's a PNG file and where the background looks like it's all checkerboard, because that means it'll be transparent, right? That means that the background is transparent, because you don't want to just have this like white thing in the background. Like this would be no good, because it's not giving me just a heart, it's giving me this white square around it. Whereas if I find like this one I just pulled up, when I click on it, the background is sort of white, but there's like a checkerboard going on. That means it's actually transparent. So when I put this in the engine, all I'm going to ever see is the heart. This will be see-through. So you just right-click, and you hit Save Image. Save it to your desktop, whatever. And then what you do is go to the front of Unreal, and where it says Add New, right next to it is something that says Import. Click Import, and then find that image on your desktop, and then just click Open. Okay, and that puts the image into your content browser. Yeah, Import is right next to the Add New button. Okay. Once that's in your project, if you go to your widget and you click on that image and you change its image dropdown, you look up the name of it. I renamed mine. I named it Heart, or Icon Heart. So if I type in the word heart, there it is. Voila. I choose that, and now my image is a heart. Maybe I'll resize it. There you go. Now if I take a look at my HUD over here, you'll notice all these hearts, there's 10 of them, and they're all perfectly straight, perfectly side by side. And to actually achieve that just by adding multiple images, which is what we would do, is actually going to be quite hard, because some will be spaced around differently, some will be spaced around oddly in odd ways, and it's just going to be difficult to make it all even. So what we would do in Unreal is we'd put what's called a container to sort of space everything out and make it perfectly straight and everything. So what I want you to do is to drag out something called a horizontal box from your palette onto your widget. So just Type that in, HOR, how, there it is, horizontal box. Drag it out. Yep. And it's an empty box at first. And then to actually get the hearts inside of it, you have to drag it not from on the widget screen visually, but in this thing that says hierarchy on the left. So on the left or the bottom, it says hierarchy. Just drag those images that you have onto your horizontal box, and they'll put them inside. And if you're still on your Google stuff and you haven't found the right image, just don't worry about it right now. You can go in and replace these later. But what I want you to be doing is to have a horizontal box, and then you drag these images onto it. And it's going to space them out all apart equally and make it so that they're all perfectly aligned. Right? Horizontal. Next to each other. Horizontal box. And then they're going to look all stretched and weird probably, like mine do. Only thing you got to fix for that is when you have the image selected in its details panel, change this thing that says size from auto to fill. It's in the top of details. Change from auto to fill. For the actual icons, the heart. If you do that, for all of them, then they're all going to be spaced equally and they'll look good. And then you can minimize them, make them smaller. And for me, I'm going to make just keep copying and pasting those onto the horizontal box until I have 10. If we take a look back at our HUD, we'll see that we have what's essentially a progress bar for our level. Well, we've already done that with our flashlight. So let's drag a progress bar onto our HUD as well. Type in progress bar. I'm going to drag that out into here. I'm going to make the percent go up on the progress bar so I can see it a little bit. I'm going to change this fill color to green because that's what they have. I'll change this background tint to also like a dark green because they also have that. Also, another thing to remember is when you're changing the color of something, you're not just changing the color, you can also change its see-throughness, also known as its opacity. So whenever I have these color settings over here, it says RGB, right, red, green, blue, and those numbers control how the color is, what color it is. And then there's A. A stands for alpha, that's your transparency. If I change that to 0.5, I'm going to make this progress bar a little bit see-through, which is kind of nice. Okay, so now we have the problem, well, how do we make this sort of inventory bar show up? How do we make that? So there's a couple things you can probably predict that's going on. Number one, it's definitely going to be in a horizontal box, right? Because all these things are perfectly next to each other, evenly spaced out, so horizontal box, got it. Now, what goes in there? Well, you have images for your icons, but then you also have a few other details. Like this pickaxe has a health bar itself, a little tiny health bar for the pickaxe. And then also, you have these numbers for quantity in front of anything where you have more than one of. So, like here I have 64 cobblestone, there's a text thing there. So, because there's so much going on, it would be better that we made our own custom widget that we would then drag out onto our HUD for when we need it. So, the idea being that we can make a widget within a widget. And that's something that actually I didn't know for the longest time when I was doing Unreal. And once you know about it and you're careful with it, you actually save yourself a lot of time by doing this. Because rather than designing a trillion different possible inventory icons, you design one inventory icon system widget once, and then you can just change things that can be modified. Like change, okay, well, they'll all have text for the number, but just change the number to the number that the player has in his inventory. They all have an image, but change the image you're showing, make it a variable, and change it that way. So what I want you to do is go to the front of Unreal. We're going to create another widget blueprint. Don't close out of your other one. We'll come back to that. But just hit Add New. Go to User Interface, Widget Blueprint. And this one I want you to name Inventory Icon. And then open it up when you're done naming it. Making a new widget, you're naming it Inventory Icon. And then you're opening it up. So we have two widgets working on now. A player HUD and inventory icon. So what we're going to put on inventory icon is into difficult. It's going to have an image, and it's going to have a text for the quantity. So go ahead and drag out an image. Type in image. Drag it out. Put it in that left corner up here. And then, because I don't really like this white box, I'm going to set this image to something. I don't know whatever's in my project. So scrolling down, and what do I see? What do I like? Just so I have something kind of to preview it as. All right, so let's do this grass texture thing, I guess. No, because it's so transparent. There we go. Okay, I got my image. I like that. I'm happy with that. And then just want you to drag out a text. Type in text. Drag that out. Where it says text, I'm going to change it from text block to like just the number 64. Again, it's just so I can preview what it's going to look like. And I'm going to make sure it's the right size for what we want. And Minecraft has its numbers pretty large, so I'll increase its size or its font, whichever you want, and then put that where you would expect to see it. Okay. All right. So that's my inventory icon. I can just hit compile and save. Now if I go back to my player HUD, so go back to your player HUD and drag out first a horizontal box. Drag out a horizontal box. And then once you've done that, type in the name of the custom widget we just made, inventory icon, and it shows up. It shows up under something called user created. Now you can drag that into your HUD. So I'm going to drag that onto the horizontal box that I made, and I'll drag a few of them, and if you notice, they all are spaced out perfectly next to each other, etc. Now, if we hop back over to inventory icon, there's one more thing I just want to make sure you have checked, which is you click on the image, and then you see where it says the word image. I want you to make sure it says where it says next to the name, the details panel, very top, is variable is checked. For your image, it's going to be checked. However, for your text, it's not. So make sure you check mark that is variable. That'll be useful to us later, so that we can then tell the widget, hey, for icon stone, show the stone texture. And you can do that because it's a variable, and set the text value to 35 because the player has 35 stone in his inventory. Right? If you didn't have it checked as a variable, that wouldn't be possible. So far, your screen should look something like mine. You have evenly spaced out health icons. These PNG images probably with hearts. They'll be used to represent our player's health. You've got a little progress bar for the player level, and now you've got another horizontal box that contains some sort of inventory widget that we'll use to manage our inventory items. And that's it for my formal part of this lecture. What I want you to do is to Google the Minecraft HUD, Minecraft gameplay, take a look at this and fill in the rest. Get it to look like this as best as you can. You can customize it how you see fit. You can change things. You make your own icons if you want. I don't care. But you still need to have a food bar. You need some text for your progress bar, and you need to make this bottom bar with the inventory actually have some visibility. It needs they have it so it's sort of chrome looking, and each icon setting has its own border. Right? It's clearly visible, stuff like that. And that's it. I'm going to end the live stream now, and now it's lab time.